Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's class is going to be finding stability through change. So we all go through so many different transitions. Some of them are really exciting and we look forward to change, and sometimes we're more resistant and it can be really challenging. And regardless, change is change. And this class is all about finding steadiness and ease within yourself so you can move through change while feeling grounded. Yeah? We're gonna deal with change for the rest of our lives. So finding that sense of being centered is so valuable. And so we're gonna come onto our backs. So with a little bit of color work. And today's class is it's quite specific, and that's good. It's our ability to create focus, right? To know what's happening, how it feels, how you're being affected, and to be present with that. So bend your knees, place your feet underneath your knees. One hand to your belly, one hand to your chest. And just connect to yourself. Simply by closing the eyes, you're already just sorting through what's happening on the inside rather than having to take on more. Just a couple more breaths. Drawing in through your scattered energies, your scattered thoughts, kind of bringing your control and power back to yourself. And take the hands behind your head. And then lift your head, neck, and shoulders. So you're coming into a little ab curl, a little chest lift. Lift from your shoulder blades, head is heavy into your hands. Okay. And then lift your legs up to tabletop, knees on top of your hips, and press your lower belly down. So imprint your spine and lift higher. And then slowly we hinge from the hips. Drop your right heel forward and down. Press the belly down, lift your right leg back up. Good, left leg forward and down. And lift. Lift higher. Good, right? So good. And lift. And left. And lift. Just one more each side. Keep lifting as high as you can go. So you're pulling the ribs towards your hips. Last one. And lift. And then lower your head. Lower your feet down. And take your arms long, deep breath in, and lift your hips up. You can just gather your shoulders underneath you, a little shimmy. And then I want you to lower your hips a little bit. Hug your outer knees in, wrap the inner thighs down, and then lift your tailbone up into your pelvis. So there's a little bit of a tuck, pubic bone to belly button, and then maybe lift higher as you drive through the heels. And then drive your elbows down. Good, come onto your shoulders more and open through the chest without dropping that bum down yet. Tailbone up into the pelvis. Your legs. We're doing so much legs today. That's your foundation. And so we're connecting to the earth, connecting to the steadiness. Got 2 more full breaths. I know it's a long time. Just be with it and breathe steady. Flow through the challenge. And then lower all the way down. Round 2. Interlace hands behind your head. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Ribs to hips, belly down. And this time lift your legs all the way up. Good, lift higher. And then we slowly lower the right leg to hover. Keep wrapping your right inner thigh down so the toes don't turn out and the hip doesn't drop. Lift back up. Belly down. So as you lower your left leg, try not to pop through your lower back. And lift. Good, right. And lift. Good, keep going. Soften the face and your throat. Let your core do the work. Right, economizing your effort. So your face doesn't need to work, your neck doesn't need to work. Good. 3, 2. Last one, lift your shoulders higher. And then lift. Good, and then lower your head. Lower your feet. Take your hands down and again lift your hips up. And rather than just letting it all splay out and hang out, stay a bit contained. Outer knees in. Drop the inner groins. And then tailbone up into the pelvis so your glutes are working. And then work to drag your feet back a little bit so your hamstrings switch on. Robot the arms. Shimmy onto your shoulders. Drive the elbows down to lift your hips. Drive the heels down to lift the hips. And then press your head back so your throat is open. Use your whole foot, not just the heel. 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hips all the way down. So good. Hug your knees into your chest. And then roll all the way over. Downward facing dog. Downward dog. And just take a moment here to be still, right? When you would normally maybe wiggle and react and distract yourself, can you just take a moment to pause, right? When things are moving around us and we get caught up in the commotion or the momentum, sometimes we just need to stop and put the brakes on so that we can move forward in a meaningful way, in a conscious way. Bend your left knee, send your right heel down, press your right thigh back. So rather than fidgeting, wiggling around on autopilot, you're just actively pressing your right thigh back, bend your left knee, something you do all the time. And then we switch. Bend your right knee, straighten your left leg, press the left thigh back. So good. Lift your heels, lift your hip creases, and then walk forward all the way. Breathe in, lengthen halfway. And exhale to fold. And circle the arms, lift all the way up. Arms can come a little bit in front of you so that you don't back bend. Tailbone lengthens down, pubic bone lifts, press your thigh bones back. And then circle the hands back to your heart. Again, circle the arms and lift. And exhale, fold. Outer hips firm in, weight in towards the balls of the feet. Breathe in, lengthen. Step your right foot back, lower your knee down. And good. Reach your arms up. Good. And do 2 90-degree angles, yeah? So it might be a little bit shorter, this lunge. And the hips back up over your right knee, your arms lift. So we're avoiding the back bend today, even though we're going towards a back bend. Lift the pubic bone, yeah? And then as you do that, tailbone lengthens down, squeeze your right glute. Yeah, just like scrunch it up. As you squeeze your right glute, you'll feel an opening in the front of your right hip. And then plug your left thigh back just for stability. So the inner thighs scissor towards each other. And I know it's quite specific. It's not meant to be right or wrong. but just little things for you to inquire. How does that feel when I do this? You're paying attention. And lower the hands. Lift your back thigh. Inner back thigh spins up. Squeeze your right butt. Again, pull the chest forward. And then plant your hands. Lift your front toes. Flex the toes. Press away. Step to plank. Press your heels back. Lengthen through the crown of your head. And then lower all the way down. Point your toes. Hands under the ribs. Anchor your toenails. Inner thigh spin up. Lift your chest. Good. And then you're going to push your pubic bone down. We'll say that a lot. And as you do that, your lower back lengthens, and also all these muscles on your lower back, all your back extensors, engage. And lift your hands to hover, elbow squeeze in. And then release. Good. Press to your knees, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. So our greatest currency is our attention. That's why they say pay attention. And so all these little things are just harnessing your ability to focus, all the little alignment things, so that you can pay attention and be present in this moment. Lift your heels, lift your right leg from the inner thigh. And then draw your knee into your chest. Step forward, lower the back knee underneath your hip. Lift your arms. So pull the right thigh bone back into the hip socket. Maybe the knee needs to press out a bit. Squeeze your left glute, lift pubic bone to belly button. Good, and then we add on, soften the front ribs down. Yeah, so that you're not arching. Right, we soften the ribs. It's almost like you're trying to round your lower back a little bit. Lift the back of the heart. You should feel the opening in the front of the left thigh. Good. And then lower your arms, lift the back thigh. Inner thigh spins up. Squeeze your left glute, pull the chest forward. And then step forward. Breathe in, find length. And then fold. Circle the arms wide, lift all the way up. And then circle the hands back to your heart. Building on, inhale, circle. And exhale, fold. Lengthen all four sides of your torso. And step your left foot back, lower your knee, repeating. Repetition is good, especially when you're going through a big change. Like routine and ritual can be the most nourishing thing to give you stability. Pull the right thigh back, squeeze your left glute, lower belly in, soften the front ribs. Good. Adding on, sweep the arms back, arrowhead. Yeah, back knee lift. So spin the back inner thigh up. Arms are back by your hips. And then open your chest. Front ribs in. And notice if you're resting, I want you to lift your right belly so you're on that long diagonal. Little leveling of the chin. Really feeling like squeeze your left butt. And then arms by your ears. They continue. Lengthening through the sides of your waist, an extension of your spine. 3, relax your front toes. 2, and 1, lower your hands all the way down, left hand down, reach your right arm up. Back thigh lifts from the right hip and spin the chest. And it's all about stabilizing the pelvis so that you're not spinning out of your hips, but it really comes from your core. Lower the hand down
Lift the front toes, step to plank. Deep breath in. And then lower all the way down. Point your toes, press your feet down. And then lift your chest up. Again, lengthen the tailbone towards your heels. So good. And this time, lift your legs. And the work here is continuing to press your pubic bone down and lift your legs, inner thighs up against that. Hamstrings working like crazy. Reach your arms back, palms down. You're strengthening your back so you can hold yourself upright. Feet down, hands by the ribs, cobra or upward facing. Downward facing dog. And lift your heels and lift your left leg from the inner thigh. So the toes point down. Continue to lift through your right hip crease. Squeeze your left glute as you lift leg. So notice if you open your hip, roll the outer left hip down. And then draw your knee to your chest. Step forward. Bend into your front knee. Lower your right knee. Repeat. Inhale. Lift the arms. Pull that left thigh back. Squeeze the right glute. Go up with the back of your heart. And then we're going to move into our arrowhead. So sweep the arms back. Lift the back knee. Slow and steady. Press your skull back. Slow is not something that is rewarded in our culture. Spin that inner thigh up, squeeze the right glute. But learning to kind of take your time so that as you navigate change, you are navigating in a way that really aligns with yourself. You make the right decisions. Good. Arms by your ears, the long one. And going slow allows you to be more present. It's challenging, right? If you want to be challenged, go slow. You can probably feel that right now. Good. Lower the hands, right hand down. Back thigh continues to lift. Reach your left arm up. Like you're moving through molasses. And then pull the heart forward, press through your back heel. So you're lengthening fingertip to fingertip and crown of the head through your back heel. All four directions. But lower your hand, step forward. Breathe in, lengthen. And then fold. And circle the arms, lift all the way up. And then release your arms by your side. Bring your feet together, which always means chair pose. Bend your knees. Lift your arms by your ears. And then notice if you're kind of like normally this kind of chair, I want you to firm the outer hips in, lift the pubic bone, lengthen the tailbone down, and then soften your front ribs. And if you're kind of a rounded, looking down, just look forward and that will lift your shoulders. Sit a little lower. It's a double lunge. Relax your toes. Use your legs. Lift the lower belly. And then release. Forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Plant the hands, step back to plank. And you'll move through your flow to the belly or chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. From down dog, lower your knees. We're gonna do a dolphin. Yeah, we're just gonna take it out of our legs and feel that stability in our upper body. So interlace your hands, elbows underneath the shoulders. Round your back. Yeah, tuck the toes, lift your hips. And then notice if you're kind of flaring through the ribs, draw the front ribs in. Maybe walking the feet in. And if you're really rounding forward, press down to the elbows, press your chest back. And so every class, not every cue will be for you. And you're starting to become aware of how does each cue impact your own experience, your own body. And then you can start to refine and pick and choose. So this process of inquiry, of asking, how does this feel? Does this fit? So good. Prepping those shoulders. Press down to lift the shoulders. Slow and steady. There's no rush. Take another breath in. Actively press away. So good. Lower your knees. Just sit on your shins. Close your eyes. And just observe. Without needing to react. You're just noticing, how was that experience? Good. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And down. Lift your heels. Lift your right leg from the inner thigh. Squeeze the right glute. So keep getting perky through your left butt. And then draw your knee into your chest. Step forward. Warrior one. Take that back foot out. Toes down. 45 degrees. Bend into your front knee. And then as you lift, lift the front line of your pelvis. Lift pubic bone to belly button. Lift the arms. And notice if that back knee bends, you know, as you lift in the lower belly. Sometimes that happens. The work is to spin that inner thigh back. Firm the leg, and then go into your front thigh. Arms can come a little bit more forward for your shoulders. And then front ribs heavy down, back of the heart lifts. Circle the arms down. Lift the back heel. Lift the front toes. Step to plank. So the transitions, you're paying attention, being present. Lower, chaturanga or to your belly. Cobra or upward facing. Most of our life is in between moments. And if you can be present there, then you can live a fuller life, have a longer life. Lift your heels, lift your left leg from the inner thigh. And then draw your knee into your chest, step forward. Back foot down, 45 degrees. Extend the spine, and then rise up. Rise up, spin that inner back thigh towards the wall behind you. Go into your front leg, press your front knee out so you can see your big toe, and then wrap the right side of the body forward. Soften the inner border of your shoulder and lift the back of your heart. Your legs are steady, your upper body is buoyant, you are rooted, but at ease. And circle the arms all the way down. Lift the back heel, lift your front toes, step, plank. Move through, take your time, pause, like chaturanga, notice how it feels. Upward facing, pause. Don't be in such a rush. Move at your own time. It can be really hard when the world around you is moving fast or you feel pressured to keep up. I know I feel it too. Good, we repeat and we add on. Center the left foot, lift your right leg from the inner thigh. Squeeze that right glute to lift the leg higher. And draw your knee into your chest, step forward. Bend into your front knee, back foot, warrior one. Repeating, just like our low lunge, we repeat and then we're gonna add on. Deep breath in. Yeah, and you might even feel as you go slow, it's even more wobbly. You're slowly building that, all those stabilizing muscles, the strength in between to hold you in a place. if you need to be there. Good. Sweep the arms back, arrowhead. Take the heart forward. Open your collarbones, lift the back heel. Spin the inner back thigh up, open the chest. And then we're gonna come into warrior 3. So you come forward, shift the weight into your right leg, lift your left leg. So keep your arms as they are for now. Spin the inner left thigh up, toes point down. And then you have to lift the leg higher. Pull the chest forward and then extend your arms forward by your ears. Right hip firms in, lift your right belly. So you're lifting out of your leg rather than collapsing into it. 3. So good. Imagine someone pulling your fingers forward and your foot back. 2. 1. Lower your hands. Step your left foot forward. Step your right foot back. Lower your knee. Good. Reach your hands into your heart, or bring your hands to your heart. Deep breath in. Twist to the left. Right elbow, left thigh. Lift the chest up to the thumbs and press your head back in line with your tail. In the chest. So you can stay here, more stability here. If you feel stable, then you can make that conscious decision to lift the back thigh. Squeeze your right glute. Notice if you're leaning forward, open the chest, lean back so you're on that axis. Back heel, through to the hips, through to the crown of the head. Lift the left belly. And then lower your hands all the way down. Lift the front toes. Step 2. Plank. Lower all the way down to your belly. Point the toes. Good. Lift your chest, cobra. Pubic bone down, squeeze your butt, lift your legs, reach your arms back. This time, interlace your hands, open the chest. Good, we're gonna play with hamstring curls, as I love to do. Squeeze the heels to your fist. Keep pressing your pubic bone down, it's quite hard. Extend your legs, your butt wants to lift. Good, squeeze the heels in, hamstrings, and lengthen. One more time. Squeeze the heels in, in, in. Try to lift your knees. And release. Good. Hands by your ribs. Upward facing. Downward facing. Just take one breath. Lift your heels. Lift your left leg from the inner thigh. Draw your knee into your chest and step forward. Warrior 1, setting up, second side. Lift up. Feel everything working. Back, inner thigh lifts. Repetition over and over until it feels familiar. Creating this safe space for yourself where you can trust your body, you can trust your decisions. Good, and then arrowhead, sweep the arms back. And that takes time to build that for yourself. Lift the back inner thigh. Lift the left belly. Notice if you're rounding, open the chest. Oof. Here we go. Start to shift the weight into your left foot. Lift your right inner thigh. So note if it's sagging, yeah? It's easier if you engage the leg. Squeeze your right glute, lift the inner thigh. I shouldn't say easier, it's more stable when you do that. So this whole class is not about being flimsy. It's about standing your ground. Arms forward by your ears. Oofda. Minnesotan for holy shit. Deep breath in. And out. Lower your hands. Step your right foot forward. Step your left foot back. Lower your knee. Warrior 3 is no joke. Hands to your heart. Good. Twist to the right. Left elbow, right thigh. And firm that right hip in. And you work to lift the chest up to the thumbs. and then you can stay, or squeeze that left glute, lift the back thigh, inner thigh spins up, press through the back heel. And then firm your right hip in, turn the chest. So good. Look down, lower your hands, step to plank. Inhale, lower all the way down once again. Feet down, lift your chest, lift your legs, reach your arms back, no interlace. So squeeze the heels to your butt. If you can find your feet at the same time, do that. Flex your feet and then kick into your hands. Keep your rib cage down and then work to lift your thigh bones up. Expand the chest. So good. Outer knees firm in. Tailbone presses down into your pelvis. Take your time. Slowly release. Good. Bring your hands underneath your head for a moment. Like a little pillow. Wiggle your butt side to side. Or windshield wiper. Your legs. I'm just going to do one more another chest stretch opener. Take your right arm out. You can either do a cactus, 90-degree bend in the elbow, or you can take your arms straight. I find this one a little bit easier, which I like. Place your right cheek, head down, and spin onto your right side of your body. Left hand is just here for support. Good, and then come back to your belly, other side. Some nice, short and sweet little juicy stretch into the pecs in front of the chest. So good. And then you're going to come onto your back. So flip onto your back. So I'm going to swing around this way. Place your feet down under your knees. This is how we started. So we're going to do a bridge and a wheel. Stick with it. Just do it. And listen to your body. So you can always modify it, but it's still good to do it, even if it's modified. Even if you're just here with us together. So slowly lift your hips up. And about halfway, you can just tuck your tailbone under, hug the outer knees in. So what we don't want is the splaying. Feet out, knees out. Hug everything to the center. And then drive your elbows down. Use your legs. Roll onto tops of your shoulders. And then expand through your chest. Press down into your feet to lift your hips. So good. And then come down, take your time, be still. Don't move, hand to heart, hand to belly. Be a witness. Good. Second and last round. So bridge, the option for wheel. So I'll take you through all the way. So come into bridge. Find your full bridge, outer knees in, inner thighs down, tailbone lifts. Repetition, right? It helps you progress. Drive the elbows down. You can stay or flip the hands by your ears and just come to the crown of the head. Yeah, plug the shoulders back into their sockets, hug the elbows in, and then lift your hips as high as they'll go. Stay or press into your hands. Outer knees in, tailbone lifts up. Use your feet and your legs. And then slowly come all the way down. Be still. Just observe. And then hug your knees into your chest. Big breath in. And drop your knees over to the left. And press your right shoulder down. Easy twist. Enjoy the ease. Enjoy the peaceful moments. Like, change doesn't always have to be hard or complex. There will be moments that you transition through really smoothly, and you just let it be that way. Back to center. Good, and then drop your knees over to the right, other side. Nice and simple. And that's another good thing, like when you're going through periods of your life that feel complicated, or there's a lot of change, then can your practice be foundational? Right? Can your practice be simple so that it doesn't need to be one more hard thing or one more thing you have to check off your list? It actually supports you. Come back to center. I'm going to come up to seated. A comfortable seat. If you want to sit on a block or a cushion, sometimes it's nice to have the hips above the knees just for blood flow. And we're just going to do a little bit of breathing, and there'll be no shavasana. You can take that after if you'd like. But this is going to be a way to center ourselves. So we're going to be doing Ganesh Pranayama, which is breathwork practice that's really grounding. Okay, so you're going to take your time. So I want you to imagine a square. There's 4 sides of a square. So this is how we're going to follow the breath. So on the inhale, we go up one side of the square. So it's a visualization. And then we hold along the horizontal line. And then on the exhale, we go down the vertical line. Yeah. And then hold on the horizontal line. So it's simple. It's inhale, hold, exhale, hold. I'm going to count it for you, and if you want to use the visualization of the square, you're more than welcome to. And then I'll release the count, and you'll continue to find that on your own for a minute or 2, and then I'll guide you out of it. So it's just a few minutes. Exhale, empty the lungs. Good. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. exhale. 2, 3, 4, hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Keep going. If you need to extend the count or shorten it so that you can maintain the breath, do that. You'll just take one more full round. And then just sit and be with yourself. Release the control. Ganesh is a well-loved deity. He's the elephant head man, the big belly. And when you think of an elephant, you think of super steady, sturdy, solid, slow. And you're embodying these qualities within yourself. Taking your time. Right? And in the slowness, there's actually wisdom. You pick up on things. Ganesh is the remover of obstacles. He protects. It's his job, is to protect. And so you can use your practice to find this sense of home and safety, inner safety, inner peace, so that whatever life throws at you, you feel grounded. Take a deep breath in. And full breath out. So good. Just bring your hands to your heart, place of connection, and just take a deep bow. Namaste. Have an amazing, amazing day, and I'll see you soon.